Hello. I'm very excited to bring to you all more information on my Protein for Everyone series. So let's begin by understanding what is a healthy protein package, right? So making healthy protein choices, it's more about the fats that is associated with the protein and also the preparation methods than the protein itself. So to understand this, it's important to know the three types of proteins, which is the lean protein, complete protein and incomplete protein. So let's look at them one by one. Protein sources that are lower in saturated fats, higher in healthier unsaturated fats, and are prepared in healthy ways. These are commonly referred to as lean proteins. Non-vegetarian protein sources tend to contain most of the essential amino acids needed for our body to build new protein. They are thus called complete proteins. However, proteins from sources such as vegetables, fruits, and grains tend to lack one or more essential amino acids, and they are thus called as incomplete proteins. So, considering fish and chicken sources may not always be a healthier option because of the way it is being prepared, the cooking methods, and also the unhealthy fats that gets added to it, because which also leads to extra calories. So therefore, deciding the healthy protein package is all about having a balance between the body's need for both complete and lean protein. And given the constraints of food choices and tastes, getting the right amount of protein, which is low in saturated fats and high in essential amino acids, often means supplementing our diet with a healthy protein supplement. But there are a wide variety of protein supplementation that are available in the market. But how do we evaluate the quality of the protein? So stay tuned for my next video where I'll be discussing more about the quality of the protein, or how to evaluate the quality of a protein supplement. And most of the time the question is, does everyone need protein? The answer is a big yes. So let's look at the protein requirement at different life stages. Let's begin by looking at young children. So children's food need varies widely depending on their growth pattern and activity levels. Like energy needs, a child's total protein, vitamin, and mineral requirements increases with age. Ideally, children should be accumulating stores of protein in preparation for their rapid growth spurt experienced during adolescence. And moving on to the teenagers. The growth spurt as children move into adolescence need plenty of energy and nutrients. For girls, this generally occurs around 10 to 11 years of age, and for boys, it occurs around 12 to 13 years. Protein-rich foods that are high in energy should be preferred, as they do not lead to excess weight buildup. And the third stage is the young adults. Moving away from home and starting work and changing lifestyle that accompanies the late teens or even early 20s, that can cause a lot of dietary changes and that are not always conducive to good health. So the need for performance enhancement and building over some endurance results in higher protein intake is required. Also, this is time to establish some healthy eating habits that will be carried on into a later stage in life. And let's look at the next stage in life, which is pregnant and lactating women. A pregnant woman should concentrate on increasing their nutrient intake rather than increasing a calorie intake, particularly in the first and second trimesters. And breastfeeding mothers also need about 75% more protein than normal. And the next stage in life is menopausal women. Thinning of bones is common in post-menopausal women because of hormone-related changes, and hormones like phytoestrogens, which occur naturally in protein-rich sources like soy, they are found to be beneficial impact on bone health, and also they negate the post-menopausal symptoms. And moving on to the last stage of life, which is older people. Many people tend to eat less as they get older, and this can really make it harder to ensure that the diet has enough variety to include all the protein that is required. Protein supplementation can help balance nutrient intake and maintain muscle mass. It is also important for good bone and heart health. So these are the various life stages, and we looked at why we would need protein at different life stages. Let's move on to understanding how much protein do we really need. And again, how much protein we need depends on our age, our size, and activity level. So various studies show the following protein intake at different life stages. As you can see, for adults, children, and pregnant and lactating women, it's very different. With adults, it's 1 gram per kilogram of your body weight. For example, if you weigh 60 kilogram, you would need roughly about 50 to 60 grams of protein on a daily basis. And in children, it's slightly more. It is 1.5 grams per kilogram of body weight, because in growing children, protein is a major building block of various functions. Pregnant and lactating women, they need around 1.7 gram per kilogram of their body weight on a daily basis. And just to give you a rough idea of how much protein is there, for example, if you take cooked lentils or boiled lentils, a cup of boiled lentils has around roughly 18 grams of protein in it. Likewise, pay attention to your diet. Look into all the different sources, or look into all the different type of food you're consuming on a daily basis, and do the calculation or do the math for yourself and see if you're getting enough protein in a day. And also the question arises, in case of vegetarians and vegans, what is the protein requirement, or do we get enough of protein in terms of vegetarian and a vegan diet? So proteins from plant sources do not contain all essential amino acids. This means that a diet based on plant protein requires the right combination of protein sources to get all of the essential amino acids. So supplementation with a good lean protein can really help. And the next question is, do people who exercise need more protein? So people who engage in endurance exercises like long distance running or heavy resistance exercises like bodybuilding, they would definitely benefit from additional protein in their diets. It is estimated that strength training athletes, they need to consume 1.5 to 2 gram per kilogram body weight in a day of protein. And the increased protein requirement is because during the initial 10 to 12 days of training, there is always a small increase in protein breakdown. So less body protein is broken down if the amount of protein in the diet is increased at this time. After about 12 days of training, protein balance is restored, and the body is likely to start building extra protein into the muscles if strength training continues. And what are all the other conditions requiring increased protein intake? So dietary protein requirement is enhanced by such conditions as infections or surgery, burns, immobilization, or post-recovery from a flu or cold or any other injuries. Frequent intestinal infection by living in polluted atmosphere, or chronic diseases, indigestion due to irregular eating schedules, and living in worms infested areas, they also increase the need for protein. So pay attention to this macronutrient. Pay attention to how much of this macronutrient are you really getting on a daily basis. So if you are someone who is focused on weight loss or weight management, or even looking to improve the quality of your life or quality of your health, the protein is an essential macronutrient that you need to pay attention to. So with that, I'm done, and stay tuned for more on my Protein for Everyone series. Thank you.